I went from this to this in just 4 months. Typically, I'm used to transforming properties, whether that's converting a 1-bedroom apartment into a 2-bedroom apartment, 2-bedroom house into a 3-bedroom house, houses into flats, mixed-use commercial buildings into multiple apartments, and my current project where I'm converting a detached house into 5 apartments. But this year, I decided to transform myself. I never thought I'd achieve these results. I made every excuse in the book. I have asthma, I have bad genetics, it's not meant to be for me, I don't have the time, I'm a vegetarian. How could I ever get shredded without meat or fish? How wrong was I? For years, I've hit the gym with minimal progress. I've trained on my own, worked with personal trainers, and followed popular programs like Insanity by Shaun T, Athlean X by Jeff Cavalier, and even completed workouts by Joe Wicks, the body coach. But nothing seemed to work. Then everything changed. Misconceptions about exercises you have to do to get shredded. I used to believe that to build any significant muscle, you had to train like bodybuilding legends Rodney Coleman, Dorian Yates, and Arnold Schwarzenegger. This meant not only following their intense training regimes, but also eating like them, and unfortunately, resorting to performance-enhancing drugs. If you've seen Roadhouse, you know how insane Jake looked. However, his personal trainer did mention in his video that Jake's workout and diet regime for the role were not sustainable.
The diet part of this is really critical for maintaining and looking a certain way. It's not something that's sustainable, but it can be done with the right people in place. There's a big team that helped get us through this. The peri-workout nutrition from Biotest, the Surge, really kept us going, gave us the fuel that we needed for these workouts. And the post-workout nutrition from Rise 311 Protein that started in the kitchen and ended up being a great product, so we got it out there.
And required a big team to support him. Plus, the entire process took more than a year to achieve those results.
I gave you a little peek behind the curtain of how we trained Jake for Roadhouse. This was a very long process, took well over a year from start to wrap.
But here's the truth, you don't need to do any of that to get shredded. I was pleasantly surprised to find out that my transformation program didn't include any of the following traditional compound movements: squats, deadlifts. While I enjoy doing deadlifts, not so much squats, it shocked me that these exercises weren't part of my routine. I also avoided common upper body exercises such as push-ups, bench press, Smith shoulder press, dumbbell shoulder press. Dumbbell presses often lead to injuries for me, so their absence from my routine was a relief. Surprisingly, I didn't do your typical back exercises either, such as pull-ups, dumbbell rows, barbell rows. And for abs, no sit-ups. Many of these exercises can be intimidating, especially in a gym environment where ego often takes over. It becomes more about the weight that you can lift rather than performing the movement correctly and effectively. Plus, these exercises usually require a spotter to ensure safety, especially when you're pushing to failure. So what did I do instead? My program focused on a different approach, proving that you don't need to lift like a bodybuilder to achieve the results that I did. The exercises that got me shredded. Let me show you the alternative exercises and strategies that truly made the difference in my transformation journey. I committed to 5 weight sessions a week, 3 with my personal trainer and 2 on my own. On top of that, I did cardio 7 days a week. This meant I had 2 days off from weight training, but I still had to do my cardio sessions. Here's what my weekly split looked like. Monday, push A plus cardio. Tuesday, pull A plus cardio. Wednesday, legs plus cardio. Thursday, cardio, no weight training. Friday, push B plus cardio. Saturday, pull B plus cardio. Sunday, cardio, no weight training. In the past, my gym sessions lasted at least an hour, but with my trainer, sessions were just 40 minutes. I was amazed at how a well-structured plan combined with a strict adherence to sets and reps allowed me to achieve more in less time and get better results. Ready to see exactly what exercises I did? Let's go. Cardio. When I was told I'd be doing cardio, I pictured the usual suspects: running, jogging, skipping, star jumps, some sort of HIIT session. But here's the twist. My cardio routine was nothing like that, and it actually consisted of the following: walking. I started off walking 10,000 steps, which gradually increased as the weeks went on, peaking to 20,000 steps a day. 10,000 of those steps were clean, meaning no weighted vest, and the remaining 10,000 steps involved me doing these steps in a weighted vest which weighed 15 kilos. Again, this helped me to burn additional calories. I started off walking outside, and I have to say I didn't really enjoy it as my transformation started in January. It was usually very dark and sometimes raining. There's nothing worse than being cold and wet and trying to get in 10,000 or even 20,000 steps. Walking outside in the dark was a little bit dangerous as you had to be careful when crossing the road, and also you have to be careful where you're stepping. There were many times where I didn't see a pothole and nearly twisted my ankle, or even worse, ended up with dog doo-doo on my trainers. I used the steps monitor on my iPhone to monitor my steps. I was forever checking it to see if I had reached my target. I was getting very bored of trying to figure out where to walk. I did some research and realized that I could get my steps in by walking on the treadmill and holding my phone in my hand. It was so much easier to get in 10,000 steps, and the experience was much more pleasant. I could put on some music and just walk. I increased the speed on the treadmill so that I could get my steps in quicker. I soon realized that it took me 1 hour to get in 7,000 steps, which meant it would take me 1 hour and 26 minutes to get in 10,000 steps. I split this into 2 sessions, once in the morning and the other during lunchtime, just to make this more manageable. So I would do 43 minutes in the morning and 43 minutes at lunchtime. A lot of people think you have to buy an Apple Watch or expensive step counter to monitor your steps. I personally didn't like the idea of getting another device and found the step counter on my iPhone is really good. The problem with, say, using a Fitbit was that if I went on the stepper or cross trainer, then the device would monitor my arm movements and so record it as steps, so giving the impression that I had done more steps than I actually had. I did some research and realized that one of the biggest benefits of going to the gym, even for getting my steps in, was supported by the social facilitation theory. This theory states that people tend to work out better when they see others working out. Seeing others apparently acts as a motivating factor, providing a sense of competition and or inspiration, which can lead to increased effort and performance during these workouts. Exercise bike, stepper and cross trainer. I alternated between the bike, stepper and cross trainer for 30 to 45 minutes, keeping my heart rate in the fat burning zone, which was 120 to 140 beats per minute. To keep it interesting, I spent 15 minutes on each machine, making the time fly by. My personal trainer Jack said that walking was the biggest fitness hack out there, and I have to say I agree. It's so underrated, but such a simple tool to burn more calories in the day without impacting your joints and causing muscle soreness. Over the 16 weeks, I anticipated that the physical aspect would get tougher, but surprisingly, it was the mental aspect that was the hardest. My muscles didn't really feel overly sore, and my legs didn't hurt from the cardio and walking. The challenge was staying consistent every day. To keep my mind engaged while walking, I tried to listen to podcasts like the Joe Rogan Experience, The Diary of a CEO. However, I often found my mind wandering. Switching to the radio worked better for me. While on the bike, stepper or cross trainer, I watched movies on Amazon Prime. This made me look forward to my next cardio session so I could continue my movie. I did feel a bit guilty at the time, seeing others running or jogging intensely while I was pedaling away, keeping my heart rate in the fat burning zone and watching a movie. But I realized comparing myself to others in the gym was pointless. Everyone has their own journey and goals. What I realized was that when you are in the gym, you unintentionally see what other people are doing, which can impact the way you personally feel about your own workout. If I saw some guy pushing lots of weight, I would be like, bloody hell, he's so strong, which would make me feel inferior about myself, especially if I couldn't push that kind of weight. But what I realized is that it makes no difference what anyone else is doing, as it's all about what you are trying to do and achieve. It's about how much you can push yourself when compared to the last session and how you personally feel. Comparison is the thief of joy. You might have heard this, but this is when we compare ourselves to others. We may be left with feelings of inferiority or superiority, and neither creates an emotionally healthy human being. This journey has taught me that transformation takes time and persistence. Despite my physical changes, I don't feel any different internally. I still wear the same clothes, now loose and baggy, which makes people think I'm ill. Even in the supermarket, staff would comment, "Don't lose any more weight. Are you okay?" People often focus on drastic changes, but whether you gain or lose weight, the important thing is your health and how you feel about yourself. Everyone's journey is unique. Don't let comparisons undermine your achievements. Stay focused, persistent, and enjoy your own progress. my diet, the journey to mastering macros. When I started my transformation program, Jack gave me my macros, and I diligently used MyFitnessPal to track my food intake. Every Saturday, I updated an accountability sheet with my macro information, and on Sunday morning, Jack sent me a video of his review. I remember in the first few weeks, he pointed out, "Rab, what's going on? Your macros are all over the place. It's not that hard." This was one of the check-ins Jack sent me on January the 21st. Check it out.
Good afternoon, Rav. Hope you're doing well, mate. Thank you very much for getting your check-in over. It's been a pretty good week. There's some stuff that we're going to go over, but in terms of body weight, it's been a bit of a funny one. Last week we finished 96.3, so low 96 from like mid to high like 96. So not too much change last week, as I said. And then we saw like a decent drop into this week. We dropped a kilo within the first 3 days, which is pretty good. And then it seems to have been creeping back up a little bit. I'm a little bit confused, let's say, as to why that could be, because obviously we want to see it coming down, and there will be fluctuations and stuff. When we're seeing like big fluctuations, big drop here, kilo within 2 days, and then we're straight away 0.5 up the next day, maintained, and then 0.1 up. It kind of makes me question how consistent we're being with everything going on. There's some stuff that I'm going to go over, like food for sure. Like I said last week, we need to be more consistent with, like 146 grams of protein on Thursday, terrible. And I know it's like hard to get protein in when you're a vegetarian and stuff, but 140, like if you can do it on the other days, you can do it on a rest day quite easily. It's not this huge challenge that we should be just completely ruined by. Every time we get to a rest day, we're struggling to get our protein in, because we just won't get anywhere near the results that we want, right? Also, just like total macronutrient intake needs to be more consistent going forward. Protein intake's been good apart from Thursday, but like you said down here, try my best to keep carbs and proteins as per given macros, but carbs tend to be slightly higher given the food I eat is vegetarian, so generally has more carbs, and that's fine. However, if we're going to have like a higher carb kind of approach, then let's just stay consistent with it. So for example, Monday, 180 carb, 200 protein, 52 fat. And then Friday, we're 193 protein, so 10 protein down. We're 254, so what's that, 74 carbs higher, and we're 4 fats lower. There's like a lot of inconsistencies going on when it comes to our macros, and like days like this, for example, 254 carb compared to a couple of days before where we were 147, so 100 grams more of carbs. Like, it's no real surprise that we're sitting a little bit higher, so we could try and explain it that way. But also, like, steps and cardio and stuff have been ticked off as far as I know, so I'm assuming like there might be something that we're missing out. And one thing that I'm gonna say is steps this week have been really, really good. However, when we're doing our cardio, make sure that we're not counting steps from cardio, because it's not the same. So if you were to go on a run, for example, 30-minute run, let's say, your steps would increase because you're outside and it would count it as steps. But if you count your steps from running, you're technically counting less because that's your cardio and your steps are separate. Whether we're if that's the reason why our steps seem to have jumped up so much, then let's make sure that we're not tracking them, which can be slightly annoying because we're like a lot of more steps, which is good. Like, if these are outside of cardio, that's spot on. Like, I'm not saying they're not, but it's something that I do forget to mention to people, and something that a lot of people tend to do is count the steps from cardio. So our steps across the week have actually been in a really, really good spot, but I want to just make sure that none of these steps are being counted from the cardio that we're doing, because if they are, we're actually not doing all of our steps. But apart from that, things have been good. Like I said, something else that I wanted to go over is 3 coffees and 1 tea every day. Are you having milk with those? And if so, are you tracking that? Like, I just want to make sure that everything we're consuming is being tracked properly, because I would have liked to see a little bit more of a drop. And sometimes there's reasons for why that hasn't happened. But I just want to make sure that we are 100% tracking everything properly. So let me know, are you tracking stuff like milk and coffees and teas and stuff? Are you using butters, oils, ghee, whatever it is to cook? Are you making sure that you're tracking that? Because there's always stuff that's going to creep in. And if we're not 100% tracking, then we can just run into this issue where we should have probably seen a bigger drop this week, but we haven't, because there might be some stuff that we haven't been tracking. We might be counting steps from cardio and stuff, which means that we're actually underperforming at the moment. So we need to push on a little bit more. That being said, I'm going to assume that everything has been perfect and we just need to do a little bit more. So from that point of view, we're going to be pushing on a little bit more. So I've added in one more cardio session, so an extra 40 minutes. I've added in 2,500 steps a day. As you said down here, steps, no problems getting these in. So I thought, well, if you're not having any problems, why not just push on a little bit more, right? Especially with how much we've got to lose, we really cannot be wasting time. So as well as the cardio, I know you said all good, final session to be completed today, so three have been done this week, which is good. So 5 days a week we're now going to be doing cardio. So yes, we are now technically doing quite a lot. However, like I say, we've got a lot to lose, and that does incur like a lot of work to be done. It doesn't mean that we can be in the same position as people that don't have much to lose, or as much, let's say. So yes, we might have to work a little bit harder, we might have to do a little bit more, but that's just part of the process. And if we want the results that we are after, we just have to get on with it. So yes, you might be kind of hating me right now, and you know, that's fine. You're allowed to hate me for giving you more cardio and stuff. But if we want to get in photo shoot condition in 14 weeks time, we're going to have to push on a hell of a lot more than we have for the last 2 weeks. So pushing on quite aggressively. We'll see how we get on. I'm also going to make a change to food this week. So I've taken out 154 calories from your training day. So 1855. And like, I don't really want to be dropping food as much as I have been recently. I would like to see like bigger drops coming in each week, and making sure that, you know, the food we're tracking, the steps we're tracking are all 100% accurate. Cardio getting ticked off nice and consistently, and making sure that we're in the right place, because your food isn't high. You're now doing quite a lot of cardio and quite a lot of step. Being able to maintain that for the next 12 weeks, not 12 weeks, 14 weeks, it's going to be tough. Doable for sure, but it is quite a lot to be doing and not a lot of food to, let's say, go with that. So I don't want to be dropping food next week and pushing more cardio in, and let's just aim to be a little bit more consistent with our macros so that we can have a better idea of where body weight is sitting. So I've taken out 25 carb of your on your non-training days, and then I've taken out 25 carb on a training day and 6 grams of fat, just so that I can get to like the 150 calorie mark. But aside from that, mate, like I said, pushing on a bit more now. Plenty of work to be done, but if we do just crack on for the next 14 weeks, we're going to have some brilliant results. So let's make sure we do. Any questions, queries, or issues, please let me know. If not, mate, take care. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll see you in the morning.
Initially, I was just eating and then logging everything at the end of the day. I realized I needed to plan my day to avoid going over my macros or consuming too much of one of my macros. This is a common issue because in everyday life, we don't typically track what we eat. We know what we're eating, but not the macro split or the exact quantities. The restaurant dilemma. Tracking macros while eating out is incredibly difficult. Restaurants use hidden ingredients and undisclosed cooking methods that can skew nutritional content. Portion sizes vary, and even healthy options might have added sugars, fats, or oils. For instance, I was surprised to learn that Nando's rainbow salad, which sounds healthy, has 447 calories, 11.3 grams of protein, and 44.7 grams of carbs, with 23.4 grams of fat. My daily fat goal on a rest day was 50 grams, so this salad took up nearly half that. Similarly, a typical breakfast at Costa Coffee, including a medium latte and a panna raisin, totals 540 calories, 17.9 grams of protein, 59.2 grams of carbs, and 25 grams of fat. Combined, these two meals would be 987 calories, 29 grams of protein, 103 grams of carbs, and 48 grams of fat. Navigating a vegetarian diet. Being vegetarian, my diet was high in carbohydrates by default. I started planning my meals ahead, logging them in MyFitnessPal to stay within my macros. I realized that most processed foods were high in calories and fats. Even many Quorn products like nuggets and crispy burgers were high in carbs. Instead, I used Quorn pieces and mince, which are high in protein and low in carbs. I focused on getting carbs from fruits and vegetables. Initially, I used ready-made pasta sauces, but I soon tired of the taste. I began making my own sauces with tomatoes, onion, garlic, and ginger, seasoned with herbs and spices. I paid attention to the type of food I was eating, avoiding high highly processed items. For example, Greek yogurt is an excellent choice. I opted for Phage, which has 10 grams of protein per 100 grams, no fat, and only 3 grams of carbs, compared to other brands like Tesco's fat-free Greek-style yogurt, which only has 6 grams of protein and double the number of carbs. This transformation program made me scrutinize ingredients and opt for foods which had minimal additives. I also started eating more eggs and planned my meals to keep things interesting each week, adapting and overcoming. Sticking to a diet is hard because it often means cutting out foods you enjoy. I found protein powder, flavors I liked such as salted caramel, natural chocolate, vanilla, and my favorite, golden syrup. Adding these to my porridge or my Greek yogurt helped curb my cravings for chocolate or desserts. I initially included protein bars in my diet but switched more to fruits. Protein bars, though tasty, didn't leave me feeling full, whereas an apple or pear did. This switch made me feel better both physically and mentally, as I knew I was consuming less processed food. I was still allowed to have a can of Coke Zero, but I made sure to drink at least 3 liters of water a day, setting a goal to finish one 1.5 liter bottle before lunch and the second by the end of the day made this manageable. Celebrations and social events were challenging for sticking to macros. On such days, I focused on hitting my protein goal and didn't stress about the rest. One day wouldn't ruin my progress. I avoided calling these cheat days to prevent binging habits. Instead, I worked any cravings into my macros or reassured myself that a special occasion was coming up soon. Jack emphasized that I could eat whatever I wanted as long as it fit within my macros. This mindset differs from diets that restrict food types or eating times like keto or intermittent fasting. I remember a personal trainer in London being shocked that I had milk in my coffee. I still do. Black coffee is too strong and bitter for me. There's a big difference between a white Americano and a cappuccino or latte in terms of calories and fats. Tracking everything, including drinks, is crucial as they can contain hidden calories. This diet journey taught me the importance of planning, consistency, and flexibility. It's not just about cutting out foods, but finding enjoyable, nutritious alternatives that fit in with your macros. My supplements, enhancing my transformation journey. Throughout my transformation journey, I incorporated several supplements to help support my goals and overall health. First and foremost was protein powder, which was essential for meeting my daily protein requirements, especially being vegetarian. It helped in muscle recovery and growth after intense workouts. I also took creatine, a well-researched supplement that enhances strength and power during high intensity exercises, allowing me to push harder in my training sessions. To manage stress and the importance of overall well-being, I took ashwagandha, a herb known for its ability to reduce cortisol levels and enhance endurance. A daily vitamin ensured I was getting a comprehensive range of essential vitamins and minerals that might be lacking in my diet, supporting overall health and immune function. Flaxseed oil was part of my regime for its rich omega-3 fatty acids, promoting heart health and reducing inflammation. Since vitamin D is crucial for bone health and immune function, it can be a challenge to get enough from sunlight alone, so I took a vitamin D supplement as well. Lastly, a daily probiotic to help maintain a healthy gut flora, which is vital for digestion and overall health. These supplements, combined with a balanced diet and a consistent workout routine, played a significant role in my successful transformation, ensuring my body had all the necessary nutrients to perform and recover optimally. The worst thing about getting shredded. The worst thing about getting shredded is that now nothing fits. Although some might like that as it means they can go buy new clothes, I personally hate shopping and can never find anything that fits. The biggest benefits of getting shredded. The biggest benefit I discovered during my transformation was unexpected and life-changing. I stopped needing my asthma inhalers. At some point during my program, I realized it had been at least 6 or 7 weeks that I hadn't used them. Previously, I took my inhalers religiously, once in the morning and usually again during the day. To give you some context, I wasn't obese when I started. I looked normal for my height and build, but shedding 17.3 kilos, that's nearly 18% of my body weight, going from 96.7 kilos to 79.4 made a significant difference. Even though I've always been active, the weight loss seems to have helped reduce my asthma symptoms. Now I'm eager to see how long I can go without relying on my inhalers. The unexpected health benefits has been the most rewarding part of this journey. The challenge ahead. After posting my transformation photos on social media, I received a lot of comments asking, what's next? What happens in 6 months' time? Honestly, we'll have to wait and see. This journey has taught me that with a plan and determination, you can achieve anything. It's no different from property investing. You need a clear goal and then the commitment to follow through. Since my photo shoot, I've continued my routine, weight training 5 times a week, walking 10,000 steps a day, and doing at least 30 minutes of cardio daily. I've stuck to my diet, though I do make exceptions when my daughter brings home her delicious brownies, flapjacks, and muffins from school. Life is full of celebrations, birthdays, anniversaries, and countless reasons to enjoy cake. The key is balance and staying committed to your goal while allowing yourself some flexibility. The challenge ahead is maintaining this lifestyle and continuing to push myself. If I've learned anything from this process, it's that perseverance and planning can lead to incredible results. So let's see what the next 6 months bring. As of recording, it's been 4 months since my transformation. I wish I'd made this video sooner, but I've been busy transforming properties. Let me show you. Harkness. I purchased this 3-bedroom house as a long-term hold. In the future, I'll be going up and over the garage using a timber frame structure to add 2 more bedrooms. This house will go from being a 3-bedroom house into a 5-bedroom house in a very desirable area, keeping the construction costs as low as possible. I spoke with my architect to make sure there would be no issues in getting planning permission through before buying this, and he showed me several houses down the road that have done exactly that. Let me show you. Spring Road. I purchased this 5-bedroom detached house with a view to convert it into 2 3-bedroom houses. I got planning permission from the council, but because it's in a conservation area, the Heritage said no, even though they were quite positive about the scheme in initial conversations. I have a plan B with this house, which I'm in the process of executing. I will be making a video on this one and walking you through the numbers, so don't miss that video. Essex Road. I purchased this 5-bedroom detached house, which I've been converting into 5 flats. We are nearing the end of the conversion and hope to refinance this property and hold on to these apartments for the long term. I decided to buy this detached house as prices were falling since COVID. Combined with rising interest rates, the conversion costs were low when compared to demolishing and starting again. And by converting this house into apartments, I'm able to hold on to these apartments using buy-to-let mortgages. These property projects have taken up some of my time, but they're way more hands-off compared to a body transformation. The best part about property is that you can outsource most of the work to contractors, making it easier to manage. On the other hand, a personal transformation needs a daily commitment and effort that you can't really outsource. Well, not yet anyway. Maybe in the future, we'll be able to get machines that will be able to elevate our heart rate as we sleep, putting us into the fat burning zone all night. The secret to my success. What's the secret to getting shredded? Is there even a secret? For me, it was finding the right personal trainer. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I've had personal trainers in the past and followed mainstream programs, but I never achieved the look I was aiming for until now. A big shout out to Raw Performance and to Jack for keeping me on track and accountable. Typically, a personal trainer provides a training program, nutrition plan, and guidance on performing exercises correctly. But what made the biggest difference for me was the accountability through weekly photos and check-ins. Jack would review my progress each week, adjusting my cardio and macros accordingly. This feedback was crucial in staying on track and achieving the photo shoot condition by the end of the transformation program. Check out this last check-in video before the photo shoot.
Good morning, Rav. So here we are, the last check-in of the Ultimate Shred. 15 weeks we've had so far. Really fucking happy. We've done really well, mate. I'm going to spend this check-in praising you mostly and showing you the work that you've managed to pull off. So let's look at your pictures, because these pictures are crazy, and the transformation that you've managed to pull off so far is unreal. Absolutely unreal. These pictures really do show that as well, mate. You should be really happy, and I hope you're happy. You haven't actually said whether you're happy, so I'm hoping that you are, but at the same time, I understand the mindset of like being very close to a photo shoot and being like, oh, is there any more that I could be doing right now? And trust me when I say you should be very happy with these results. This is not an easy transformation to pull off in any way. And the work that you've had to put in to get here has really fucking paid off, man. Like, you should be really happy with these results. And this isn't even, you will look better than this for your photo shoot for sure. But these pictures are fucking brilliant. Really happy. And like I said, hopefully you are too, mate.
Having someone around to speak to you and hold you accountable makes a massive difference. It's not just about the plan, it's about having the right support to ensure you stick with it. The same principles apply in property investing. Just like transforming your body, transforming properties requires the right support and guidance. Having someone who can provide a clear plan, regular check-ins, and adjustments along the way is key. In property investing, this means a clear plan, knowing your goals, goals and steps needed to achieve them. Regular check-ins, monitoring progress and making necessary adjustments. Expert guidance, learning from those who have successfully done it before you. Whether it's converting one-bedroom apartments into two, houses into flats, or mixed-use commercial buildings into apartments, having the right support can make a massive difference. Just as I relied on Jack for my fitness journey, having a knowledgeable mentor in property investing can also help you stay on track and achieve your goals. Remember, it's not just about having a plan, it's about having the right support to execute it effectively. Whether you're looking to transform your body or your property portfolio, accountability and expert guidance are key to success.